that should not be castigated. I mean, if you come out with a conservative view on something like affirmative action, you'll be called a racist. You just will. And I think that's not right. So I would argue ideological diversity is a good thing and is essential, partly because it will mean that undergraduates are exposed to a richer mix of ideas, and that will make them better citizens and better voters and better citizens. Partly because it'll make universities more fun. It's pretty damn boring to be in a place where everybody agrees. I don't like that. It offends me in some ways. It makes me kind of want to disagree. But I think more than that, it hurts our legitimacy to the broader public. If I'm right of center, why should I vote to send taxes to people who disagree with everything I stand for? I think academics understand why African Americans would look funny if the president and the president's cabinet were all white, right? Why can't they understand why the half of Americans who tend to vote Republican would look funny at universities if there are none of their voices represented there, and if they're always called names? The other thing is, academics really don't understand Republicans, because there's none around them. They imagine terrible things about them that are mostly not true. Now, the other thing where this really hurts the academy, and it hurts society, part of why I got into academia is the notion that if you get bright people together to study problems, gosh darn it, maybe you can actually solve some of the problems. And a problem we have in universities is that because we don't study a wide range of ideas, at least we don't do it fairly, we don't learn some pretty obvious lessons about how to improve the world. Let me give you an example. What if a medical school found a therapy that would cure 80% of cancers, right? All of a sudden, all the medical schools would be teaching it, and drug companies would be making the drugs, and the government would be funding it, and all that. Well, guess what? We've done that in crime prevention. Criminal justice professors and sociology professors predicted that in the 1990s, crime in New York and other cities would go up for demographic reasons. They were absolutely wrong. New York City in 1991 embarked on a 17-year continuous decline in crime. The murder rate in New York by 2007 was 80% lower than it was in 1991. There were literally thousands of people walking around who should have been murdered, but they weren't because of conservative law enforcement policies. Come on, and the architects of those policies, in part, one of them was a conservative political scientist, James Q. Wilson. One of them was a conservative criminal justice professor, George Kelling. Guess what? Those methods are not taught at any criminal justice schools in the country, so far as I know. Nobody's copying what New York is doing. I study the KIPP academies and other very successful charter school networks that are doing something terribly un-American. They're preparing disadvantaged children for college. I think it's kind of cool. Very, very few people in ed schools are studying what they're doing and trying to get traditional public schools to copy it. Because of the lack of ideological diversity, we are failing to solve important social problems that we really could be solving. So I'll finish with a couple ideas about how to make this better. First off, we have some ideas in the book, actually. An idea by Hank Brown and my friend Michael Polikoff in a very good chapter is just more transparency. We need to know more about what goes on in universities, and that would be healthy. Stephen Balch makes a very good argument that we need to set up more centers for the study of Western thought and Western civilization and free markets at universities, as has happened as a result of alumni pressure at places like Brown and Duke and Villanova, and I think that's a good idea. I think in some ways the best idea of all, though, is one that we don't really get into very much in the book, which is just persuasion. I actually like academia. I like universities. My career has been fostered by a lot of people who are way the heck to the left of me, disagree with me on a lot of issues, but nonetheless were fair-minded people who thought that my voice should be heard, and I was publishing good stuff and thought that I belonged in the academy and helped me out and in some cases protected me from people who would have perhaps done me harm. I think that we need to talk more to academics and make the case to them that frankly we look like hypocrites when we urge all of society to respect diversity and we don't respect it in our own house. And we look like hypocrites when we urge all society to consider a wide range of ideas and a wide range of subjects, but we don't do it where we are. And guess what? When we make that argument, it turns out an awful lot of liberal professors agree with us. When we make the argument respectfully, looking at data, and without name-calling. You know, a couple of years back, that charlatan, Ward Churchill, got what he had coming to him. He was a charlatan, everybody knew it. People were kind of afraid to attack him. When he got fired, I don't think there were too many University of Colorado professors who were sorry to see him go. He wasn't a very popular character. I think to paraphrase Bill Clinton, I kind of like academia. I think academia has some serious flaws, but there's nothing wrong with academia that can't be fixed, I think, with what's right with academia, with building on what's right with academia. So I've gone on for a while. Let me answer. Oh, I'm sorry. One more idea I'll have. Any policymakers in the House? Anybody like to be in the likely to be in the state legislature? All right. Here's my pet idea. You can get more flies with honey than vinegar, I think. What if you have a little fund? Wouldn't have to be much money. $100,000 would do it. Not much money in terms of what government does. And here's what you do. Say you'll give that fund to a university that will do two things. First off, we'll sponsor weekly debates between Democrats and Republicans to try to initiate a culture of debate, a culture that maybe I disagree with those people, but they're not crazy, and maybe I have an obligation to hear what they have to say. And guess what? We can't parachute into somebody to do it. It's got to be faculty from your school. You got to find some Republican faculty, okay? Could be hard to do in some cases. So, something I always tell my liberal Democratic friends, I say, oh, you say Republican faculty have no problem at your school. Why don't you find one and ask him, right? Or ask her. Now the second idea I would have is, I actually think, I'm a political scientist by training, I think every freshman should have to take Intro U.S. Government. And I think part of any good Intro U.S. Government course should have, almost every week, a debate between, this is what the Republicans feel on this issue, not what we say they think, but what they really think, what they say they think. And this is what the Democrats think. And what do you think? I think that's an important part of being an involved citizen. Universities love money, right? We're money-seeking machines. We hate businesses because they're all greedy, right? But we try to cut our budget and see how greedy we are. Put out a little pool of funding for universities that'll do that. And guess what? Some of them will take you up on it. And they'll get a good reputation for doing it. And they'll recruit better students. And others will start copying them.